two, three.
Let's go. I love to see the temple. I'm going there someday to feel the Holy Spirit, to listen and to pray.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is a temple ticker, wherein we will talk about the third temple announced underneath the Oaks administration. The let's take it out of General Conference and let's put it in another random meeting. Lots of different things about this particular one. I'm sure we'll get into it. I need answers, Mr. the Pharaoh. Corey K. Ward, he knows everything temple. And what he doesn't know, I know one of two things will happen. He'll either find it out or he'll make it up. So welcome in, and I'm glad we're able to talk about the temples with you, sir. How have you been?
I don't make up anything. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Like a little ever? Do you go, yeah, probably. You say probably sometimes.
Okay, I opine, but I don't make it up.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Let me not discredit you that way. You opine. Let's start there if we can. I was surprised about this because normally I get the text messages from the church that says, hey, here's news. Guess what? I didn't get any sort of news about this temple.
Any sort of breaking news about it?
No, none.
Huh. Directly from the church?
Yeah.
Or a news aggregator?
I mean, it's not President Oaks himself. It's like his secretary is like, hey, you may want to know this.
Okay.
You know, she'll have to sign an NDA with all the other federal employees from here on out. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it. Let's not get political when we talk to the temple about the temple. But it didn't happen on a Sunday. It wasn't part of a state conference. There's all sorts of things around it. Tell me.
Yeah, this third temple that you're talking about in the Oaks administration is the Otavalo Ecuador temple.
Ecuador.
This is the third temple to be announced in Ecuador. There's currently two that are dedicated and functioning in Ecuador, and this will be the third, most likely, if they don't announce another one soon.
Yeah.
I knew Ecuador was probably up for a temple announcement because it had the temple, the church, the country with the most members with only two temples.
Okay.
So I had guessed maybe like Quevedo or Machala in the south because they're a little further away from those other temples. But this one is located somewhat close to the temple that was dedicated a few years ago in Quito. And Otalavo is only like not even in the top 35 according to Wikipedia biggest cities in Ecuador.
Interesting. Is it accessibility? Like you can get there by sea and by land and by plane, and there's a great Chick-fil-A in town. Like, is there any reason why?
I mean, the highway between Otalavo and Quito is very, mountainous, and I'm sure it takes long. And I know a lot of people there probably don't even have cars, and so they just take, public transportation or organize a trip themselves. And so yeah, I'm sure it still is, a challenge to get there frequently if they want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, it was a Thursday evening, and it was May 5th, 14th, and Elder Dale Renlund was there, and they had a special fireside. And however, this temple announcement did not come from Dale Renlund. It came from Elder Juan Pablo Villar. And he went ahead and announced that temple that the First Presidency had authorized him to announce that. And I did go ahead.
I would just the actual doing of this in my mind. I think sort of couple things. One is that the elder's name that announced it. What's his name again?
Juan Pablo Villar.
He's like Elder Renlund's like, I'll be presiding, and now we're gonna hear from Elder Pierre, and then he gets up, and then he's like, and ladies and gentlemen, and he looks back at Renlund, and Renlund's like, giving him the thumbs up, like, go ahead, it's all right to do it. And then he's like, we get a temple, right? That's one way that I would have loved it to go down. I'm sure it didn't. Otherwise, we would have heard about it. Harkening back to my youth, I would love it if this elder was up there and right next to him with his hand on his shoulder was Elder Renlund whispering in his ear the things that he wants him to say. I would love that. But it seems like, it's an announcement. But why Thursday night? Is that a Latin American meeting night thing? What's
I don't know. I guess it's
Yep.
just his schedule. That's the time he had to go there.
Okay.
Um,
That's it.
there's a video. There is a video of him actually announcing the temple, and you get the audience reaction. And Elder Renlund is there in the back, with his headphones, listening to the translation. So maybe translation was part of it. That he just said,
Oh,
"Hey, like I'd rather have them hear that in their own native language." And
yes.
so you can definitely see the reaction of Elder Renlund when he announced that. He just smiles so much. And then it did just funny because Elder VR was like, "Hey, everyone, like." Please don't react too much to this. He's like he asked them to like basically prepare and not like make any noise. And then when he makes it, of course, everyone like
Yes.
gasp and then they clap as well, which you don't
Yeah.
hear many times in a Mormon meeting,
Yeah.
clapping.
Why? Why?
Um
Why? Why do we have such a, why do we have such an issue with it? I mean,
eh,
it, I don't. Why can't we just be like, you know what? No rules for a second, you guys. This is a cool thing. Ready? Here we go. Don't do it all the time. We're not giving you permission. This isn't rubber stamping. We're just gonna start clapping every Sunday. But today, yeah, you bet.
Yeah, he does. You can tell when he gets first hears the cheers, he kind of like bows his head for a little bit, kind of like, "Oh, I just told you guys not to do this, but I'm in front of my boss right now."
Yeah, my
So yeah,
spiritual boss. Yeah,
the church has a long history in Otalavo. It was one of the first places that the missionaries came in the 1960s, and a lot of the population did receive the message of the church. And today, about 10% of the population of the surrounding city is members of the church.
cool.
There's about I think the city has said it's about 40,000 people, and the whole area is about 200,000.
Oh, geez.
So
Okay.
definitely more of a rural area. Um, and yeah, and there's three stakes in this town, which is, a big deal. That shows that there's a big percentage of members there. And there's also one that was recently formed in Ibarra, just a little bit north. And then there's one on the coast in Esmeraldes. And then there's also a stake in Colombia, which I think it's right on the border, so they'll be closest to this one rather than taking. They can either do like the 4 hour trip to this temple with a border crossing, or do like the 10 hour trip to Cali when that temple's done.
Hmm.
So I think that will probably be included in this temple district. So I think there'll be about six stakes in one district.
For those keeping track, and remember to like and subscribe and find us on YouTube. I think we're about to crest over the 1,000 follower mark, which is a big deal because then we can start lining our pockets with pennies. We get to start putting pennies back in our pockets from that. Remember that you can play along and do the Shasta drinking game every time that Corey has to adjust his microphone while we record. Whenever he has to push it back up, you get to take a shot, and we're already four in, and we're only on the first news story. So,
There
uh,
you go.
Elder Renlund pretty busy because he also dedicated the temple in the Philippines, and that's not close to Ecuador at all.
No, he was there 2 weeks earlier on May 3rd. He dedicated the Davao Philippines temple. It is the fifth temple in the Philippines. And remember, there's 14 that are planned total. So,
Jeez.
um, yeah, I didn't see anything too notable that came out of this dedication. But it is the first temple on the island of Mindanao, which is the furthest south island in the Philippines. So a lot of these people are very far from the current temple. So I'm sure it's welcome to them.
Now the Philippines. Correct me if I'm wrong. Philippines is where President Oaks went when he was assigned for a couple of years, and Elder Holland went to. Was it Peru? Where did he go?
There's Chile.
Chile.
Yeah.
When they and this was kind of turn of the millennia where it's like, guys, it's not we're not doing this quite right. Elder Oaks, this is under the Hinckley administration, right? Says, hey, we need you to go here. You're going to be there for 3 years. Let's develop some leadership and all that. And Elder Holland went down to Chile and same kind of thing. And that's a huge turnaround from where, not being able to retain to being able to have 14 temples in some, part of the process going on. That's pretty incredible.
For sure. Even this year, a ton of congregations are being created and there's new stakes. And so the Philippines continues to make a lot of progress. Well, in many ways, the church in Chile is kind of stagnant. So it's a tale of two countries in a way.
Mm.
Um,
So we go to Lindon, where another temple was dedicated. 216, by the way, for those that are keeping track at home, how many we've got of
216,
389?
85 with this new temple announcement. We're now at 385
Okay.
total.
Okay.
Davao 215, Lindon to 16 on the same day, but a few hours later because of the time difference. Henry B Eyring was there to dedicate this temple, where he called it a refuge and a place of peace. He was with, looks like Stephen R. Bangerter, to preside over this dedication. What else? There's about 17 stakes that will go to this temple. It's the seventh in Utah, or seventh in Utah County, the 23rd in Utah, where there's 32 currently planted.
And of the 9 that are still kind of in process, let's see if we can do them. Can you do them without looking? The 9 that are left:
Can
Lehigh,
you keep count? Lehigh.
West Jordan,
Yep.
Spanish Fork,
There you go.
Price.
Yeah.
Now I'm lost.
Ephraim.
Ephraim. Oh yeah, because Ephraim is not dedicated yet, though that's later this year.
It's like this here.
Uh,
Smithfield.
Smithfield. Yeah, that's up north. What am I missing? Okay, cheat and tell me. Cheat and tell me. What are we missing?
Cheat and tell me. Okay. Sorry to pull it up.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't give you any sort of heads up. I like these kind of games. The
Okay.
games that you don't know that we're going to play and that I go, what is it?
Ephraim,
Okay.
Price,
Yep.
Spanish Fork,
Yep.
Lehigh,
Yep.
West Jordan,
Yep. I got
Heber
those.
City.
Heber
Heber City's
City.
happening now. It's finally happening.
See?
Yeah, in Smithfield. I think that's all.
Okay.
So,
So maybe it's the 25th because I think that's, if there's 32, that's 7 that we just talked about.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe sometimes the church news is wrong on these articles. But
Listen,
yeah.
listen, we're
Maybe I'm referring to that there's the Pro Rock Center, Rock Canyon Temple and the Salt Lake Temple that are technically not functioning right now, but they're there. So
yeah. So you remember at the beginning when I said he'll just make stuff up? That's the kind of stuff that I was talking about, where you're like, yeah, maybe I was talking about the 2 that aren't functioning right now. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. He doesn't make stuff up. He's the smartest person I know. Lindon has 2 baptistries. Is that correct?
Yep. It
Nice.
is, I think, the third temple or the second at least after Syracuse to be dedicated with 2 baptistries.
And from what I understand about the Lindon Temple, it is impossible to get in to do baptisms before school for the kids.
Already?
Yes. Yeah, there are
Wow.
like well, and school's almost out, right? And then kids will be all there all the time. But this started coming on as I was graduating. Like there started to be like the cool temple kids that would go to the temple early before school. It is every morning, all the way booked out. Like as soon as it opened, we're good for the rest of the school year. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue to make massive use of those dual baptistries into the new year, or if the newness wears off.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 216. Yorba Linda.
Yeah, it was announced that Utah Christopherson will dedicate this temple on June 7th. I know we speculated that maybe that would be President Oaks, but it looks like it will be President Christopherson. So this is a small update on that one.
Montpelier. I'll actually be up that way. I'm going to go see the Montpelier temple. I won't be there to be able to go through it, but I'm going to see the kind of.
Are you going to the Caribbean of the Rockies?
I am going to the Caribbean of the Rockies. Thank you for knowing. We're also going to stop by the Tabernacle in Paris, which I believe is still closed down, correct?
Yeah, that is, but it's worth probably looking to see what the outside is.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Also, check out the tabernacle next to the Temple of Montpelier. It's cool. It's a nice, like, round design. I don't know if it will be open or not, but it's a really unique one as well.
I can't remember if I sent you this story, but it's worth bringing up because what do I do but try and take us away from the schedule that we're actually going to talk about things? Let me see if I sent this to you. Yeah, so there used to be a beautiful tabernacle. Maybe you can share this on your Facebook page. Tell people where they can find that. Do you still do it? Your Facebook page?
Yes, it's called Latter-day Saint. Oh, sorry, it's called what is it called? No, it's been doing it so long I forgot what it's called. Latter-day Saint chapels around the world daily.
So there used to be a tabernacle in Lehigh, Utah, and the reason why I know this is because they just recently dedicated a marker, and it's hilarious to me. So they tore down this gorgeous tabernacle, and know that when I say hilarious, I don't mean actually hilarious, but they're like, they have dedicated and put a marker here, and it's this like historic, like one of the things that you see off the freeway where it's like, once upon a time, there was a tabernacle that was here. And then you see the pictures of what the tabernacle looked like. And it's like, we're excited about this marker when we could have kept this tabernacle in this place. Screaming at the computer as I saw that. So just, it's just funny.
Yes, I believe I know what you're talking about. Recently, I mean, this was like years ago, like maybe in the 80s or something. Oh, okay. It was torn down in 1962 is when the tabernacle was.
Yeah. It was
Um,
before we had billions, so I get it.
but it's in the I know it's in the news again because recently they completed the new Lehigh City building,
Hmm.
and they kind of have this little like peaked steeple on it, and it's supposed to like be evocative of what the Lehigh tabernacle used to look like, even though it doesn't look anything like it.
Yeah.
But
I like I
we
just
we wanted to have the same kind of some sort of tribute to the Lehigh tabernacle.
Here's the deal. If you're following and watching this on YouTube, and we need to be better about this, I'm going to try and make this like a thing that for all of these things that we talk about, I'm actually going to do this. But hopefully you're watching on YouTube. This is what the tabernacle looks like. It is it kind of reminds me a little bit of Salt Air, if people know that, out by the Great Salt Lake. It looks a little bit like the building is the Old Main up on Utah State's campus that has the large letter A. It's this glorious grand building. You can tell that it's stained glass and all of these things. And instead what we have put on it is your run-of-the-mill steak center. And I wish that we would hold on to some of our older things a little bit more. Hold them a little bit more tightly. I know that we didn't have the money then that we do now, and I'm grateful for the times that we do, but for crying out loud, that is sad that that is no longer around.
Yeah, there was certainly a few decades where we lost. There's and, there's probably a book published by all of these old ones that we've lost, like this, like the old granite Salt Lake Granite Tabernacle or the Colesville Tabernacle was really
Yep.
great too. So yeah, you don't know how great they are till you lost them.
And speaking of great buildings and great towns, Cody, Wyoming.
Okay, wait, we
Oh,
didn't
we missed
say
something.
we have to go back to the Caribbean of the Rockies.
Oh, sorry.
Which I do you know you're one of these performing arts people, right?
Okay.
Do you know of that uh
The theater that's there in,
That Pickleville
yeah,
Theater?
Pickleville Playhouse, the
I was
Juanito Bandito.
I just heard today on social media there was a little song and the song was called Caribbean of the Rockies, and
Okay.
it's from a production they did last year called Hunky Dory.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, it was just really catchy. And I didn't know someone had made a song about it was all about the blue water and the raspberry shakes and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
If you
this
have
summer,
never if you have never been to Bear Lake, great place to be able to go. And if you've never gone to Pickleville Playhouse, the guy who owns it is actually a member of the church. Um, let's see if I'm trying to find if there's a way that I can play it. Um, a member of the church a few years ago, they weren't going to continue to do it. And then they decided, you know what? Yeah, we will keep doing this theater things. They took some time away and kind of revamped it or whatever. People come from like the musical dance theater program of BYU, which a lot of those people go to like regional theaters and Broadway and touring casts and all this kind of stuff. They go to this little town right up in the northernmost part of Utah and do these phenomenal shows. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, I got to do the share thing. Otherwise, no one's going to be able to hear it. I'm trying, everyone. I'm trying my best. Share the sound. There it is. Here we go. Sharing this, not with permission from Derek Davis, but here's the song that.
The reason it's so perfect is because it's imperfect.
Yes.
I'm not following.
Okay, then, let me show you. Look, right there. The lakes reflect in the sunlight. Look, right there. The seagulls sway in the breeze. Look, right there. And suddenly I'm feeling alright in the Caribbean of the Rockies.
Oh, so it's tropical.
Oh, it's almost half a year.
Okay.
Well, there we go. We can't keep sharing that, otherwise then there's lawsuits and stuff like that. But people can stream that, and you can give a shout out to Derek Davis. I think that's TJ's either younger or older brother, but that's the guy that I know that does that up there. That's cool. It
And
is.
and when you go to the Caribbean of the Rockies in September, make sure to go to the Montpelier, Idaho open house, which is September 10th to the 26th. They'll
Mhm.
have a media day on the 8th, and then there'll be a dedication on October 18th. And they
If
did
they
not announce who would be doing that.
if they were really thinking about it, though, they would have had it in the first week of August because that's Raspberry Days. You get a lot of people up around the Caribbean and the Rockies in Raspberry Days. Let's stop here. We'll take a break. When we come back in the second half, we will do the very second half of the Temple Ticker. We'll be right back. You know, the turning of another year makes me start to think about how I have not done one of these ads for Best DJ in Utah in over a year. I'm sorry, everyone, but it means business is good. It means you should hire Best DJ in Utah. Why, that's me, and I even have people that work for me, trained by me, affordable, and travel all over. Literally all over. Going to Florida this year, for instance. And this year means 2026, not this year, which could have been several years in the past, like we've been doing. You can go to bestdjinutah.com, or you can go and find us on our Google business page. It's Best DJ in Utah. You will see that as of the recording of this, almost 700 5-star reviews. Find out what so many listeners of the Cultural Hall have already found out. I'm great at parties. I'm great in your ear holes, but I'm also great at parties. So find out if I'm available for your date. We can help you out. Weddings, baptisms, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, funerals. I'll do a funeral. bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second half of the Temple Ticker, for those keeping score back at home, we are at 11 mic moves by Corey K. Ward. So don't drink too much Shasta. I did that one time on my mission. We played quarters with Shasta. So much diarrhea. Sorry, I didn't give everyone a warning about that. The human body should not consume that much sugar in such a short time. Cody, Wyoming. Okay. Are we going to get protesters? We're going to get protesters.
You think so? For the open house?
Yes. Yes.
Well, they're going to have a media day on August 21st. And then the open house will be the 27th through September 12th. And then there'll be a dedication on October 25th. And they also didn't announce who'd be doing that. So in case
Any
there's no death
thoughts on
threats.
anyone for these?
I don't think they wanted to make any death threats, so
Yep.
they had to.
I'm coming for you, Renlund.
No, although, like I said, Elder Cook has been like silent lately. And he dedicated the one in Casper, Wyoming, so maybe he would go back to Wyoming for this. We'll see.
I'm asking ChatGPT right now if President Oaks has any personal things to. Nope. He does not. He does not have any sort of connection to either of those. So probably not him. Okay. I like
So
to
he
make a
does that.
prediction. I think it's going to be, one of the first presidencies. Okay, Wichita.
Wichita, Kansas Temple will have a media day on September 21st, followed by an open house the 24th to October 10th. And then they'll have a dedication on November 1st, and Elder Patrick Kieran be the one that does that.
Interesting for Elder Kieran. Is that his first by solo?
No, this is like his third now.
Oh, for real?
He's gonna go to Phnom Penh this summer to dedicate that temple. And then I think this will be his third.
No Kase and no Gilbert Temple, right? Not
As of
Gilbert,
yet.
Arizona, but Elder Gilbert Temple.
Oh, and Elder Kieran also went to Auckland, New Zealand, so this will be his fourth.
Well, that's just because he talks like those guys. It's like saying it in the same language, except he doesn't say pencil. He says pencil. Yeah, pencil.
Yeah.
Okay. So not necessarily anything significant about that. How about San Luis Potosi, Mexico?
San Luis Potosi Temple. All the details are the same. Media day on the 21st of September, open house 24th to the 10th of October, and then a dedication on the November 1st, but this will be by Dale Renlund.
I know that people will think that this is a little irreverent, but I like the idea of when we have two temples on the same day that the apostle who finishes the prayer gets, amen, and then takes his phone out and goes first and sends it to the other apostle who's also dedicating the temple that day so that they can be like, you're first, you're the 217th or whatever the thing may be.
Yeah, we talked about this. This is going to happen on June 7th. We're not going to know which one is going to be first. These two temples are also in the same time zone. So we'll see how they settle this. Yeah.
How do they determine someone at the church? I need to know same day, same time, same time zone. How do we determine? Is it which it is the rights given to the one that was announced first? And is it as strict as some of these were announced in the same general conference? So President Nelson said Wichita, Kansas, or whatever before he said the other one. How does it work? How do we determine what number that temple is?
It's a good point.
I don't want Corey K. Ward, the Pharaoh, to make this one up. I want to know.
Well, this is the first temple in Mexico that is was made with the modular design as
Okay.
well, and the Wichita temple was as well. So,
And Cody,
uh,
Wyoming.
and Cody, Wyoming, there you go.
Yeah. All the pieces came in. They finally got the Lego pieces that have the three things on the top that click in. So they're like, great, we can do this. Okay, so we get through that. Man, we have a lot more news than I thought. I just scrolled down and went, oh my gosh, there's still pages upon pages. Temple groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was announced that the Santos Brazil temple will have a groundbreaking. This temple is located just like the city of Santos is on the coast of Brazil, just on the just outside of São Paulo. So this is kind of like a technically like a second or third area São Paulo temple. Um, and as previously, this is a long time coming. The site was announced several years ago, but it will be a 23,000 square foot temple on the side of a meeting house that's currently there. So we've been waiting for this for a while. I don't know what was the holdup. But it will be on August 1st, and Elder Ronald M. Barcelos will be the one to preside over that ceremony.
The church made a miss here with the Rapid City, South Dakota temple, but talk about this, then I'll let people know a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they released a rendering of this 11,800 square foot temple. It was kind of like a brown brick color with an exterior. I don't know if you're familiar with the Fort Collins, Colorado temple. Kind of see like a large kind of box spire with kind of triangles, and then with a spire in the middle of those. So definitely a little bit more unique than other temples that have been recently released because it's more of a, I don't know, a neo-Gothic design, I guess you'd call it.
It feels, by looking at it, it looks a little modular, yeah?
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the miss. You drive past it on Mount Rushmore Road, so people are going to be going to Mount Rushmore. Why do we not have four faces of previous prophets etched in to the side of the temple? The missed opportunity. Who would we pick? Whoever announced, was it President Nelson who did South
He did
Dakota
it.
announce it?
Yes, he did
So
announce
he's
this.
automatically one of them. Who are the other three that we pick and put there in the side? People go, look, this is the religious
I can guarantee
Mount
you
Rushmore.
in the foyer of this temple there'll be an original painting and there'll be like a Mount Rushmore in the distant.
Oh yeah,
That's just it's pretty
I
characteristic.
I will take that internet bet, Pharaoh. I will take that bet. And the hands. Never mind. I don't want to go there. Let's just leave that alone. Okay. So that's South Dakota. We go then now to Argentina.
The site of the Rosario, Argentina temple was announced. It will be a 1.59 acre city block, basically located on a downtown site that's near the Paraná River. So this is a very central location for this city. It looks like from looking at like what the use is right now, it's kind of like a factory, but like on the side, it looks like a food truck park.
Hmm.
But it looks like based on the street view imagery, it probably closed sometime this year or last year. I don't know if that's because the church bought it or just because it wasn't successful.
Hmm.
It was called Distrito Peak Incha, and it looked like they had, a bunch of like container, like kind of like shipping containers that had basically small restaurants in it and then some picnic tables that you can eat that food. So yeah,
Brunto.
interesting.
Just kidding. Oh, and at one time it was real bad. It was real bad at one point. Bad neighbor.
What you
I'm looking
think
back
so?
at 2018. There's nothing but like it must have gone through like a regentrification of a bunch of things for a hot minute because
Yeah,
it
it looks like
looks
it was
like
just a field of grass and
yeah.
then
This
I
is
got
cool. I didn't know this about Google Earth that you could see its previous photos. I'm distracted. Okay. All right. Cool.
definitely, yeah.
Caldwell, Idaho.
The Caldwell Air Temple will be located on a 19.2 acre site located at the southwest intersection of West Orchard Avenue and South Florida Avenue in Canyon County. So this is a large farmer's field just outside of the city boundaries of Caldwell. Um, the site was originally reported a year ago by the Boise Development website
Hmm.
as though the church had bought this and they speculated this is where the temple would be. And indeed, the church confirmed, and they announced that it will be a multi-story temple of 82,000 square feet, which will be like the second largest in Idaho, after this Teton River temple that's currently being under construct currently being constructed. And it's probably about the same design as like the Lindon temple.
Hmm. Now, kids of parents that try and trick you into religious things, you need to make sure that you listen to the things that your parents say. If they say in a couple of years, "Hey kids, get ready this weekend. We're going to Lake Lowell," make sure that they're saying Powell if you think you're going boating, because this temple is right by Lake Lowell. It's probably pronounced Lowell,
Yeah.
but there's a lake right adjacent to this property. So make sure your parents don't trick you into Lake Lowell. You're like, oh, Lake Powell, I love it. It's gonna be warm. We'll sit on the red rocks. Turns out you're going to the Caldwell Temple.
Yeah. I heard this is not a great lake. There's a couple of
No, the Great
um
Lakes are in the Midwest. Is that what you meant?
there's a couple of little known podcasters that live in this area.
Never heard of them.
Um, and the women there speculated this would be the site. And when they said, "Oh, it's not in Caldwell, maybe they should name it something else, maybe the Lake Lowell Temple," and they're like, "That would be bad because it's an
Yeah.
ugly lake."
Yeah. And did one of the women say it and then the other woman repeat exactly word for word the thing that the other woman said? Because that's my favorite. You can listen to only half of that show and be able to go, oh, I got it. I got it. Throwing shade. Throwing shade, Stedman. How dare you? I thought we'd buried the hatchet. We haven't. Okay. Anything else about that? That's a massive temple, 82,000 square feet, like you said. Greenville, South Carolina. That's a gorgeous part of South Carolina. That's all I know about that.
It will be located on the temple will be located on an 8.8 acre site located at the intersection of Independence Boulevard and Ponders Road, and Popper Mountain Grove Road, in Greenville.
Hmm.
Just out to me, it looks like to me just outside the city boundaries. But just right there on I-85 is basically where it will be. It's right now it's just a green grassy field with a fence around it. There's a sign next to it that says ABB. I don't know what type of corporation that is, but um, that's where this temple will be built. It will be 18,880 square feet,
Hmm.
single story. So this will be the second temple in South Carolina after the one in Columbus or Columbia.
Okay. Temple leaders called. So Wichita, Kansas. So that obviously being announced. So now we know who the president and matron are of that temple.
Yeah, Brian Lee Rawson and Linda Christine Giles or Ginleys Rawson.
Maybe
They're of the
Glines. Gleans.
Glines. Yeah,
I don't
thank
know.
you. That would be they're from the Derby, Kansas Stake, Rose Hill Ward, so just outside there of Wichita. So that would be the first temple pair of leaders.
Coeur d'Alene. Okay, you guys can build a temple. Cool. Thanks. Do we have the go ahead? No, there's still other stuff. Great. Thanks.
Yeah, well, the church did a press release, one of these kind of like press releases like, hey, we're working on stuff, which is like they're always working on stuff, but it's just kind of to put out to the media that, hey, yeah, we have some construction material out there. Recently I think it's the city council approved basically the infrastructure work to do that. So that was in the news there. Um, and I'm sure groundbreaking will be in the next few months.
Sure. You can't trust city council though. Are we getting to that? Oh yeah, we are. That's coming up. But first we go to Bakersfield.
Yeah, the developers for the church finished a months-long analysis, a 431-page environmental report about the proposed temple in Bakersfield. And a number of residents have commented and raised concern about this. Normally after EIS like this, you have time to to your comments. So this says hundreds of people in the Brighton Park area um, comment or are protesting this temple. So I know this was in the news like a year ago for the same thing. So let's see if they are working through their concerns.
Yeah, yeah, as they should. Or they could just get the go ahead, and then the mayor can come back and go, guys, can we try something different? Maybe could we look at this different, like they did in Fairview?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to think about this because I know it was a very controversial thing, and the church did compromise and lower the height and the size of the temple, and they've already started construction.
Hmm.
But then the mayor came out and said, "Hey, like we know we agreed on this, but like I know it's really over, but like if you really could, like it would be nice if you did this and not built the steeple." And he pointed to basically examples of the temple in Vienna that was announced that doesn't have a steeple, and he just hopes that they would reconsider. So it's kind of hard to like after you've gotten a compromise to be like go back on that compromise. Um,
It's
but we'll
instead of
see.
being a symbol of hope and warmth or symbol of peace, it's going to become a reminder of the forcefulness that was behind that. To quote
Maybe
from
for the few hundred people that are super involved in city politics, it will be, but like for th thousands of other residents, I don't think it will be that big of a deal, which it
yeah,
never really is after the temple's built.
yeah, it's built. They go,
So,
yeah, I'd prefer it not. It's done. Okay, let's hate somebody else now. Let's help.
and I know that they're oh, we want the rural nature of our neighborhood, but literally there's a Sonic drive-through like right across the street. Like it's not a rural area. And just down the road is a big mall and a freeway. So
It's a rural mall.
it's a pretty big mall.
Yeah, it,
Texas.
it's not the Mall of
Everything's big.
America. It's the Mall of Texas. It's the Desert Rose or whatever. I don't know.
So we'll see if fences get mended over the next few years. Kevin G. Brown was there in the DFW area. He had an interfaith um, devotional there in Duncansville, which is on the south end of the Metroplex. And it said his focus was temples. He said more than 600 interfaith residents showed up for this.
Mm,
I wonder why it wasn't held like closer to Fairview. If this
mm.
is maybe something, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just was scheduled long ago, or
Yeah,
they weren't thinking about that.
yeah.
But
Maybe
something nice to do.
decided to talk
Something
about
nice to do.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I remembered that there was a legal injunction with the Buenos Aires, Argentina City Center Temple.
I mentioned it briefly when we talked about how the church released a new design that has a lower steeple.
Hmm.
That there had been an injunction preventing the legal process of application. But apparently that was recently lifted,
Hmm.
and it says that the church can continue with their uh, application. Um, they are just like the people that were put the injunction there, there or that applied to get that there. Um, Basically, their big concern was that they wanted a plaza near this old Catholic church
Hmm.
or convent, and that's what their church is proposing. So I think the judge basically said, "Hey, like I think they're kind of, they're going along with what's being asked, and so they can continue through the process of approvals." Um, while at the same time, the vice president of Argentina was on Twitter and actually like tweeted about this temple. She
Hmm.
called it espantoso.
Which means
Um, which, um, let's see, what does that mean? Frightening.
frightening.
And that the Mormons don't have much to do with Argentina, so she thinks it's really dumb that it's being built
Oh
in the
yeah,
middle of the
you know what?
city.
You
So,
know how we build the bridge? You're dumb, Vice President. You're dumb.
um, so I don't know. Uh,
It seems like a nothing any then, right? Done. Move
it
on.
just shows that it's being in the press and
Yeah.
it got the attention of the vice president. So probably more eyes will be on this application as it goes forward.
So round us out because I already talked about the Lehigh Tabernacle. Sorry, I didn't see that at the very
No, I
last.
added those as we were
Oh,
talking.
oh, okay, okay. Salt Lake Temple.
Yeah, big news about big updates about the Salt Lake Temple. The first presidency toured the Salt Lake Temple,
Mhm.
and the church used this press release as a way to also slip in that President Oaks had hip surgery on April 15th
A
and
hip
never told
replacement.
anyone.
Yeah, got a new one.
Which I think is savvy PR. So
Mhm.
you get like headlines about the first presidency visiting the temple rather than headlines about the prophet getting a
Sure.
hip replacement surgery, which probably a lot of people didn't even not, now don't even know about it because it was hidden in this press release.
Sure.
But it looks like he's starting to walk with the help of other people. Um, and he was pushed through in a wheelchair through the celestial room of the Salt Lake Temple. And something that got a lot of buzz off of this was that they released a photo of him and President Eyring looking from the celestial room into a room that's called the Holy of Holies. And in this Holy of Holies, there is a stained glass. I don't know if you call it like a Tiffany glass, if that's fancy enough or not.
I don't know.
But it's a like a an image of the first vision.
Mhm.
So the only other time that we've seen this photo is in a black and white photograph from like 100 years ago when James E. Talmage released a book about the Salt Lake Temple. He included this photo in there.
And do you know
Um,
why he did? I found this to be fascinating.
I think you know better than I do.
Do you know this story at all?
Um, well, I guess I do know what you're talking about. Um, you can go ahead and
No,
talk about it.
please, please. I'll just yell things as you talk about it. But I thought this was such a baller move by the church that I'm like, yeah, that. I like that. Good for you guys. Go ahead. You can
Yeah,
tell it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
Maybe
do. I
I
do know what
told
you're
you.
talking about. So
Okay.
there was this German immigrant guy that was hired as a maintenance worker, I believe. I can't remember. He's something like that. But he made friends with the gardener of the temple, and the temple was closed for like one of those cleanings for like a week or so. And the gardener basically let him in. He may have been not very may have fell out of favor with the church, and so he basically got him in, and they took a lot of photographs of the temple, which had never been photographed before. And they're really interesting photos because they show like a bunch of like cleaning supplies and stuff like that, and they show this like weird statue of Joseph Smith and Hiram
Hmm.
in the celestial room and stuff like that. They show like this picture of a sword that used to be used in the endowment ceremony to part the veil. Um, and he took those pictures and wanted to get some sort of blackmail out of the church to he's going to publish them to like some sort of New York newspaper. But instead, the first presidency, Joseph Smith at the time, decided that they would release their own photos of the Salt Lake
Yeah.
Temple.
So take
Ones
that,
that
guy.
were much better taken.
Yep.
So it's interesting to see his photos because they're more candid.
Hmm.
They take pictures of more like messy parts of the temple that are just like under like cleaning. And there's even a photograph of like the bathtubs that they used to have in the temple where they did washings and anointings because
Hmm.
back then you actually used to be washed in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Um, but
Everyone
one
goes,
of
wait, what?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised though he never got into the Holy of Holies. So when that book was released by James C. Talmage that had the Holy of Holies in there, it was kind of a surprise, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
And
I just,
basically
oh, go ahead.
made it so that he couldn't really get any reward off
Right.
his photographs.
Yeah. I just love that. We're like, yeah, not only we're not going to do it, fine, we'll take care of it ourselves. We'll send that out there.
But yeah, since then the church has released lots of pictures of the Salt Lake Temple, but never this room. So it is notable and a good sign that hopefully during the open house that will be open. That would be
It'll
really
be
cool.
open, but you won't be allowed to go in, guaranteed. And the tour guides will not be, they will be instructed to not tell you that it is the Holy of Holies. That's how it was in the Manti Temple.
It's a little bit different there because
Uh,
it was
is it?
converted to a ceiling room. It was converted to a ceiling room.
Yeah,
And this one
okay.
has never been a ceiling room. It's always been
The
this
Holy of
dedicated,
Holies.
yeah. What is really interesting too is that it kind of kicked off a discussion online from people that are more considered apologists,
Hmm.
talking about a ceremony that happens in this room called the second anointing.
Hmm.
And a lot of the times, the in the old manuals of the church, it says do not discuss this at all. And so
Hmm.
it's interesting to see these more apologist flavored influencers openly discussing this.
Yeah. There have been, I forget his name off the top of my head. Staley, is that his name? That wrote the book about the Salt Lake Temple. I did an interview recently, a little bit about
Okay.
it. It may not have been him. I can't remember what the individual's name was. But it was like, yeah, hey, he's like, can you send me questions? I'm like, that's not how I go. Just, we just talk and we go through this and whatever. And he's like, that's fine. We're not talking about the second anointing. And I was like, all right, record. It's an interesting thing, how some people engage with that. And this is not the episode, nor do we have time in this episode to get into it. But it is sort of a fascinating thing, especially if you're listening to this going, what on earth are they even talking about? Ask your mom. More art glass was installed.
Yeah, and another update, the church released some more photos of some of the interior work. This really cool one of it's like an image of the Salt Lake Temple. I'm
Hmm,
not quite sure in the temple where it's located. It says it's the south end of a hallway in the temple, but it like has some like cool little like seals and some scriptures underneath it as well. And
cool.
then there's one famous art glass in the hallway near the celestial room that has like the angel casting out Adam and Eve,
Mm,
and they are installing that again after a restoration. Um, and then in the new annex by the staircase of the new entrance, we also see some new original stained glass as well that we'll be able to see on the outside
just
when that's
gorgeous.
finished.
Every
Yeah.
bit of it. Okay. Desert Voices podcast with McKay Coppins is the next note you have. What's that about?
Yeah, if you want to know more about this like temple renovation, McKay Coppins interviewed two of the project leaders of this temple renovation, and they talked about the process of they shed a little bit more light into that decision that was made in 2020 to basically take out the murals and increase the capacity of the endowment rooms and to um, take out the baptistry that was currently there and move it to the annex and make two of them.
Mm,
So he talked about how there was clear instruction from the first presidency to um, basically expand the capacity of the temple and to basically kind of make some decisions that were more in favor of capacity versus historical preservation. And they talk about more about like what the open house would be like and the vision of the renovated temple square. So it's a good listen.
yeah. Okay. I'll check that out. I
The
like
new
McKay
visitor
Coppins.
center that we've discussed opened to the public on May 18th. So that's now open. And although those renovations for those temple rooms in the basement, replicas are full, you
Mhm.
can now go and see the rest of the open house or of the visitor center before the open house, which they now have confirmed that tickets will be available on September 1st for the open house.
So look forward to crashing the church's app. If the rollouts of the sleeveless garments are any indication, we'll all go, we didn't know it was going to be popular. How would we possibly know? How would we know? I
But
got 'em.
also,
I got them, by the way. They're great.
this is like that doesn't open until April 5th. And so like if you know exactly what time you want to go in 7 months from now,
Yeah.
then like other than that, like I think a lot of people will probably like, I don't know yet. I can't commit to a time that
No,
far in
are you
advance.
kidding? Absolutely
You
not.
think people will?
No, 100%. This is,
Okay.
and I think it's great because they're putting it as a priority, but part of it is that they want to make sure that they do it and earlier more than later because it'll be more frantic as it goes on, right? But the second
Sure.
thing is and unfortunately this is a culture thing in Utah where it's like, "Oh, I know Corey K. Ward, and he was able to get me the second day." Like there's some sort of weird flex that we get where it's like, I got to go through blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, cool. So good for you. Great. Good for you. That's awesome. Exciting.
Well, let's see if they make like a press release that says September 1st and all the headlines say September 1st available, like yeah, they'll will be crashing. But if
yes.
they can just like if they just keep this very quiet at the end of the press release, like they did at this one,
Mhm.
September 1st, and they never mention it again, then I think they won't have as many problems.
Nope. There were lines of people lined up to buy sleeveless garments like it was Black Friday. There are no secrets. There are only sacreds. That's it for this episode. Thank you for all the hard work you do. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know, mainly because I never tell you thank you. So take this opportunity to hear me say thank you. People can always email us, contact@theculturalhall.com. If you have little scuttlebutt, little insider information, we love to pass that along to go to the Pharaoh and say, hey, is this true? And he goes, no, get this out of here. That's urban myth. Get it? Whatever, or not. Contact@theculturalhall.com. We hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
We hope that if you're able to listen this week, that you'll be able to listen the next week.
And that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. Now, one more thing before we go. For those keeping track at home, 21 times with the microphone. I kept track with little hashtags this time because I just wanted to see. I've got to help you. We're going to get it set up, and it's going to not keep floating like that. In the meantime, go Tar Heels, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, Debbie Wanless, The Tiger with the U, and also Latter Day 3D Studio will be saving a seat for you.
On the back row.
Of the
The
Cultural
Cultural
Hall.
Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row. We really gotta go on the Cultural Hall show.